Speaking of PowerPoint, this week, of course, we have a new template set out. This is from my very good buddy, Nelson Long, over at SuperGoodProduct. He's like the hardest working guy in showbiz. And this is called Wondrous Logos. It's a set of PowerPoint templates. What I like about these are they are not just your average logos, images, which are kind of handy, you know, if you're not artistically inclined, but these are actually animated. So let me jump down here. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to let it roll. Here's one called Bulb. I'll let that roll. So yeah, it's a logo, but it's animated, which is kind of sweet. And of course, you can change all the different aspects of it, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let me put a link for this in the chat box because, of course, it's on a launch kind of special. And let's see what kind of damage we can do with something. If you're not really in search of a logo, you know, don't let that necessarily hinder your creativity, because you can, of course, use these for lots of different things. Not just a logo. It's like an intro or something like that, which they're kind of designed to do. But let me open up one real quick. Let's find that bulb guy. And when you download them, there's like 150 in the front end offer and like another 300 in the OTO. So let's open this guy up. And Nelson always does some really ingenious stuff. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys, I'm sure Nelson will let me give it away to you guys. But let's just kind of cover some of the stuff real quick here. If we go to the selection pane, we can kind of see that there's a music track included in these. For the most part, they're not really useful to me, so I'm just going to shut that off. I'm going to shut off the music. And then the first thing I'll do is, of course, save it as something else so I don't screw up my master. And I've been saving them in a folder called test. Okay, so now I'm kind of ready to go. The first thing I'll do is let's preview it. So some nice animation comes in, but there's nothing really to modify per se on this one. Let's go to the next slide. Preview it. So, oh yeah, that's nice. I like it. So if we look at the selection pane, we'll see that there's a text box. So let's go ahead and just kind of change this to something. So maybe I want to use this for my PowerPoint video site as just a little logo or something like that. Nice, right? Short, sweet. I like it. Let me see. What else could we do? I like this little box here. I'm going to go ahead and insert a text box and maybe just type PPT. Make it white and something bolder. And maybe just kind of move it a little bigger. There we go. That looks like it might be interesting. And then just add a little animation to it. Like, oh, I don't know, just a zoom. Zoom. Okay, and let's go to the animation pane. And we'll set this to, I'm going to try with previous. We'll see what happens. Play that. There. So now I got a nice little, I might even move it up here. Yeah. So now I got just a nice little asset. And it, it's easy to add stuff and customize and all that good stuff. I like that. But as opposed to maybe just a logo, I like the idea bulb, right? So let's just duplicate this slide. I'll try like an experiment here. Maybe instead of a logo, with my company name here, maybe this is something like step 1. Step number 1. And I'll get rid of the text box there probably. That one. Right? So it could make a nice little title slide. Right? Step 1. And you'll find dozens of little things like this that the animations can be used for if you kind of look through a bunch of these. The other thing that's really kind of nice is, again, Nelson does some very innovative stuff. He uses a lot of morph transitions to do the animations, but also here's an example that has just this really cool text effect. So I'll let this play. And it's like a glitchy thing. It just kind of punches out and back real quick. So what I'm going to do here is swipe this. I'm going to copy it. Let's go to a new slide. Let's paste it. Let's change the color. Right, and I'm just going to simplify this a little bit. There we go. So as a topography effect, I found a whole bunch of these that are actually kind of neat that I'll put into like a swipe file. Let's play the animation. Right? I love it. I love that effect. But now I can, of course, steal it. So let's insert a new text box. Just use a piece of text. Let's make it big. And let's copy the animation. So I'll click on this, go to Animations, the Animation Painter, and let's paint that glitchy effect. I love it. It's awesome. Right? So there's lots of stuff you can do with these things, especially if you have such a buttload of them to work with. All right? So I'm always a fan of Nelson's stuff. Of course, right now it's on a stupid launch deal. Yeah, 150 of these for like 17 bucks. Can't beat it with a stick. But it's best if you go through and make use of stuff. Copy, steal, swipe, all that good stuff. But you'll probably find something you can use them for. Oh, here's another example. I'm kind of creating some subscribe assets. So here is something called the Ultimate logo. And I like that they're nice and clean. They're just... It's a nice little animation, stuff like that. But for this, instead of Ultimate logo and using it as a logo, here is a little subscribe title screen for my YouTube videos. Subscribe today. Boom. And gone. And actually, it's a case where I might actually use the audio. But again, they're simple to modify. Let's say I didn't want this little image here. If you just right click on it, change picture, maybe from icons. And this is especially applicable perhaps if you are creating your own logo. Let's use a little person here. Insert. Let's change the color. Format. Graphics fill. White. Hold the shift key, make it bigger. Center it up in the circle. And roll that. Alright, cool. Yeah, so just some ideas, stuff to play with.